the Dragon Harmonic Pattern Indicator, which is offered for various platforms on the TradingFinder website. From this section, you can download the indicator file for MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5 platforms and run it on the chart. Additionally, traders can read this page to understand how the indicator works and functions. From the Navigator section, we select the indicator file and execute the indicator by dragging the file onto the chart. Once the indicator is placed on the chart, it begins to identify and draw the Yiqua Dragon Harmonic Pattern on the price chart. Traders who are looking to identify this harmonic pattern on the chart can use the Dragon Harmonic Pattern Indicator to recognize this pattern. By using the D point identified in the harmonic pattern, they can determine the potential price reversal zone or PRZ and enter a buy or sell trade in the market. In the Settings section, under Input, there are options available for us. In the first part, we can set the minimum wavelength in the indicator, which is set to 5 by default. This value is based on the zigzag indicator, which has 3 parameters. Here, we can adjust the first parameter. The other 2 parameters include the numbers, 3 and bot 3, which are hard-coded into the calculations and perform their computations. In the next section, we can set the number of candles for analyzing and identifying waves and Fibonacci ratios, which is set to 100 candles by default. For example, here from point D, to identify point C, it goes back 100 candles, and if it identifies the Fibonacci ratio for C, it displays it with the label C for us. From point C to identify point B, it goes back 100 candles, and if it identifies point B, it displays it with the label B for us. Similarly, it identifies A and X for us, and draws the harmonic pattern. In the next section, we can enable or disable the display of harmonic pattern lines. In the next section, we can enable or disable the break pivot status. If this option is enabled, and pivots have been broken for us with candlesticks, it identifies and displays them for us, and it does not consider any difference for the breaking of pivots. If I set this option to false, in the second section, I can determine a distance from the harmonic pattern pivot to the broken pivot, which is considered based on pipettes. This amount is set to 100 pipettes by default. We see that here it does not consider or display the harmonic patterns for me. If I set this amount, to 1000, it will only identify this pattern for me and display it on the chart, which you can use as a filter to identify patterns with higher validity from this section. In the next section, there is the shift option, which is set to 2 by default. And we can use this section as a confirmation for the harmonic pattern. After the formation of the harmonic pattern and the closing of the candle, it moves forward by 2 candles and then examines the harmonic pattern. If I set this number to 0, it will examine the harmonic pattern as soon as the candle closes. Traders can also set other numbers here, and based on the specified amount, it will move forward to examine the drawn pattern and display it on the chart. In the next 2 sections, we can enable or disable the display of bullish and bearish harmonic patterns. We can determine the drawing style of the patterns, which includes 5 styles: solid, dash, dot, dash, dot, dash, dot, dot, available here. In the next section, we can set the size of the harmonic pattern lines, which is set to 1 by default. If we set a number other than 1, the indicator will automatically display the harmonic pattern lines in a solid style. And in the last section, we can change the color of the bullish harmonic pattern, the bearish harmonic pattern, and finally, the color of the harmonic pattern labels to any desired color. Please note that in MetaTrader 5, the first two options are based on pivots. In the second section, the identification of Fibonacci ratios and 30 bix labels is examined based on pivots. For example, if we have placed 100 candles here in MetaTrader 4, it goes back 100 candles from point D and looks for identifying the Fibonacci ratio to display point C. However, in MetaTrader 5, if I set this option to the number 10, it goes back 10 pivots and looks for identifying point C and the other Fibonacci ratios. The next point you must definitely pay attention to is the value that is set in these two options. The more you increase these values, the larger the periods and the ratios that are found will be. So it's better to choose medium or relatively low ratios for them to identify more suitable and smaller patterns for us. Well, friends, we have reached the end of this indicator tutorial. We would be happy if you share your comments and suggestions with us in the comments section.